Okay, so today I'm going to go ahead and review here with you guys um, the area of a circle and how we find the area of a circle. Okay, first, our formula for area of a circle is A, area, equals pi r squared to the r to the second power. Now let me explain real quick what this all means, okay? Area. Area of a circle is the space inside of the circle. Okay, so it's the space inside. So it's all this stuff here. So in this circle here, it would be all that space that's in the turquoise or the light blue there. That would be the area. We want to find out how much space is in there. The radius is from the center is going to be from the center to the edge of the circle. So we have a line here from the center of the circle all the way out to the edge of the circle. That's our radius, or that's our R. Okay? So we know what the area means. We know what the R is. Pi. Whenever we have pi, we're always going to use pi as a number that's going to be rounded to 3.14. Okay, we're always going to use 3.14 in our classes for pi. Okay, so that's just going to be consistent. Really, we know that pi is an irrational number. It's a decimal that goes on forever and it never repeats itself, but it rounds really well to 3.14. Okay, now the second part is the square. Okay, the square, or the second power. Whenever I have something to the second power, in this case it's my r to the second power, this means radius times radius. Anything to the second power means times itself. Okay? Sometimes we might have something where we have like x to the fourth power. Okay? And that would be x times x times x times x. All right? I'm going to use my dots for multiplying. So that's what that would mean. Okay? So r to the second power means r times r. I'm going to reiterate this. It does not mean r times 2. This is r times r. R times r, twice. I'm multiplying it twice by itself. Okay? All right? Okay? Another quick example. Let's say for example, our radius now here is 6. Okay? Our radius is 6. So if I'm going to say r squared, or 6 squared, if I'm going to say 6 squared, I'm going to do 6 to the power of 2, or 6 squared, is 6 times 6, and 6 times 6 equals 36. Okay? Equals 36. I want to stress that a lot. Whenever I take something to a power, that's how many times I'm multiplying it by itself. Okay? So 6 times 6, 36. Okay? So 6 to the second power, 6 times 6, which equals 36. R to the second power, R times R. R times R. Okay? R times R. Okay, I want you to take a second here, and I want you guys to like say that to yourself. R times R. R squared. R times R. Say that to yourself. R squared. R times R. Okay? All right. So now let's go ahead and let's calculate the area of a circle with a radius of 3 feet, okay? Well, I don't have my radius labeled here, so I'm going to go ahead and draw it out. So I'm going to say that this is my center, this is my line, and I've got a 3-foot radius. Okay? All right, good. All right, now I'm going to calculate. I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, okay, what's my formula for area of a circle? Area is pi r squared, okay? So pi, I'm going to write out my area formula so that I remember and I get used to it. The more you write it out, the easier it's going to be for you to remember. So pi r squared, okay? For pi, I'm going to use 3.14 because that's what I'll always use for pi. Now my radius is 3, so I'm just going to plug in, I'm going to put parentheses here so I separate the values. Three squared, which really is going to give me 3.14 times 3 times 3, okay? So I'm going to write that out here, 3 times 3. Write it out, okay? I'm going to make that recommendation to you right now, especially if you're starting this the first time. Write out yourself 3 squared 3 times 3. So you keep doing it, okay? And you keep remembering that that square means times itself, 3 times 3. So this case, 3 times 3 gives me 9. Okay? 3 times 3 gives me 9. So now I just have to multiply. 3.14. I'm going to do that off to the side here. Times 9. 3 times 9. Or 4 times 9 is 36. 9 times 1 is 9. Plus 3 is 12. 9 times 3 is 27. Plus 1 is 28. I have 1, 2 decimal places in my problem, so I move 1, 2. And so I will get 28.26. And then my unit is going to be feet squared. Okay, and I'm going to use that little 2 to label feet squared again. Okay, all right, because what we're really doing is, in order to measure area, we're measuring the shape into how many blocks of 1 foot by 1 foot is there. In this case, there would be 28.6. Okay, all right, so that ends up being our area.